I asked people with ADHD one question. What do you want the world to know about your ADHD?
Makes me love hard work to get my work turned in on time. I'm very smart, but my grades drop sometimes.
If I could actually sit down and start my homework, I would. But there are people like me out there who get good grades, rarely get in trouble, and yet can and do have ADHD and struggle with the symptoms that come along with it.
My ADHD affects every aspect of my life, from sleep to school to work, all of my relationships, and I have to tailor my entire life around having it.
Some play on my hand and have me concentrate on what I'm doing.
I moved to a special spot in the classroom for tests because I can't block out noises and distractions like you can.
While I'm staring off into space, it doesn't mean I'm stupid.
It's just like having a billion trampolines in your head, each representing a thought, and your brain just jumping off each and every one every second.
To meet this amazing community and learn more about how to support them.
In mostly human life, they may suffer once or many times from the symptoms like insomnia, lack of concentration, lack of attention, or feels like autism. Yes, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorders.
Short attention span, distractibility, disorganization, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. They can't sit still.
Psychiatrist and clinical neuroscientist Dr. Daniel Amundsen.
One pioneering psychiatrist says that feeling better starts with understanding your brain.
You eliminate gluten, dairy, corn, soy, artificial dyes, and sweeteners. 70% of the kids lost their ADD.
No way. Someone's sitting here thinking, well, I'm not going to achieve anything with my life because I've got ADHD. How do I know the difference between whether I have ADHD or I'm just distracted because we're living in an overwhelming time?
Autism is really increasing among our nation's children right now. And when Miriam Gimel's own daughter was diagnosed with that disorder several years ago, she tried a new treatment called MERT. The therapy combines an EEG to map the brain waves, followed by transcranial magnetic stimulation to regulate the brain waves. So think of it like this. The brain is an orchestra.
So what ends up happening is the violins play very fast, the cello's very slow, the piano too loud. And that is what autism looks like. It's sort of a chaotic...
Someone with ADHD, you probably think of it as
Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder.
So here a second year psychology students going to explain and define all the psychological and neurological terminologies and sentences of ADHD in a very simple manners. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorders characterized by the common symptoms of inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity and emotional dysregulations that are excessive and pervasive, impairing in multiple contexts and developmentally inappropriate.
बच्चे का बिहेवियर हम ADHD और ऑटिज्म में कैसे जज कर सकते हैं?
ADHD एंड ऑटिज्म में बहुत थिन डिफरेंस है एक्चुअली. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ऑटिज्म इज अ डेवलपमेंटल डिसऑर्डर. सो जहाँ पे आप बहुत सारे डेवलपमेंटल डिलेज देखते हैं. बच्चा सोशली इन्वॉल्व होने की कोशिश ही नहीं कर रहा है. देयर आर ऑलवेज टू टाइप्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. वन इज वर्बल एंड द अदर वन इज नॉन वर्बल. सो दोनों तरीके का कम्युनिकेशन इज मिसिंग. दे ऑलवेज हैव रेपिटेटिव पैटर्न्स टू डू थिंग्स लाइक दे आर डूइंग स्पिनिंग, दे watching the wheels of a car. So ADHD को सिर्फ 3 levels पे हम चेक करेंगे. One is inattentiveness, बच्चे का attention नहीं है, बच्चा impulsive है, and the third one is बच्चा बहुत hyper है. अब पेरेंट्स कहते हैं कि मैम ये तो आजकल सब में ही है. सर घर का एटमॉस्फेयर होता है, एक इन्वायरमेंट होता है, वो अपसेट होने तक की लेवल पे पहुंच गया है और हमें किसी डॉक्टर का असिस्टेंस का नीड पड़ रहा है, then it is called ADHD.
As I already mentioned that the symptoms are inattention, hyperactivity and impulsivity and emotional dysregulations. Inattention means difficulty paying attention, staying organized and flowing through one task. Hyperactivity means excessive movement, restlessness and talking too much in public. Impulsivity, that means acting without thinking, interrupting others and having trouble waiting for on turns.
What's really happening is in a non-stimulating environment microscopically within the brain is these neurotransmitter levels aren't high enough to allow that person to activate his attentional network. The brain cells aren't connecting in a coherent way, so the attentional network overall is not functioning optimally.
Now, what are the causes of all these? Research indicates that ADHD may be linked to subtle difference in brain structures and functions, particularly in areas that manage executive functions. Risk factors includes genetics or having a parent or sibling with ADHD, maternal smoking, drinking or drugs use during first trimester of pregnancy, and exposure to environmental toxins like lead.
All behavior is affected by the brain. And my brain has ADHD. Looking at my behavior, I knew, even with medication, even as an adult, my ADHD was still interfering with my life. What I needed to know was how and why, and more importantly, what could I do about it? I started to do some research. And I found a lot of great information. I found a lot of bad information too, but that's another talk. But there's good information out there. Websites, podcasts, talks by researchers and medical professionals. Books that would have been way more helpful than the self-help books I'd been using that were clearly written for normal, well, there is no normal, neurotypical brains. A lot of what I found, though, was either super technical or...
And now, what are the precaution, diagnosis and treatments of ADHD? Kindly note please, I am not a professional psychologist or psychiatrist. If you may feel the symptoms is severe, then you immediately visit a professional psychologist, psychiatrist and neurologist clinic. But naturally, the treatment may involve a combination of medication and therapy. But if you want to fight all the mental and psychological disorders, then the key things to add in our daily routine. The first thing is maintain the circadian rhythm and fixed sleep cycles. Number 2, physical exercise. Do you know the history behind of vestigial organ of our body like wisdom teeth, appendix, coaxial bones and tonsil? Yes, according to Lamarckian theory, if we do not use any parts or any organs of our body, then it may lead to a vestigial organs. So, physical exercise play a major and huge role in our both psychological and physical health. Number 3, mindfulness through different hobbies and deep works. Number 4, meditation through different spiritualism. And apart from all these, many small factors like lacks of sunlight, vitamin D and vitamin C, or lacks of multiple or different vitamins and minerals also may lead to our psychological and mental disorders. Thank you. Have a physically and mentally healthy life.